Alright, I'm going to be completely honest. I've tried to record this video about 3 or 4 times. Each time, one of two things happens. Either I get off track, doesn't sound good, or what I'm saying just doesn't kind of make sense. But today's video, I'm going to explain how I would roam. Now, roaming is something that a lot of people do differently. A lot of people have different strategies for it. They plan out differently. But overall, roaming is something I see being done very incorrectly from a standpoint of, hey, nobody should be doing that. In a lot of situations, such as ranked, with solo queue, duo queue, trio queue. Once you get into like quad queue and above, which is 5-stack, you don't see it anymore, really. And even sometimes in lower comp like T4, lower T3, middle T3 sometimes, and I've even seen it in CL before. Not really in Pro League because, again, they kind of have this trained into their heads, hey, don't do that. But basically, it's the art of roaming is to delay time. Your job as a roamer is to make the attackers feel uneasy. So basically just make them feel uneasy and delay time. These are your two checkboxes. If you can do these two things, you did a good job roaming. Now, frags, they come later, but it's a checkbox that nonetheless needs to be checked off in the end of the day to win a round most of the time. Now, I just have Cafe up here just to kind of use this for a couple examples. Cafe is kind of a harder map when it comes to, like, I wouldn't say roaming, but roam clearing at the same time. There's places where you can hold as a roamer that are hard to hold as a roamer, but then there's places as a roamer that it's hard to be droned out as a roamer. So it kind of is 50-50, but we're going to kind of stick to second floor mainly. And I'm going to use an example that actually happened to me in a league match once on Cafe, which is kind of the main reason I picked Cafe. But I was playing Jaeger. So let's find Jaeger. And I started the roam up top. It was a kitchen defense. And I started the roam, I believe I was in lounge. I was in lounge right here. Alright. And I was just running in cigar, bar, cocktail, white, past stacks, white hall, pixel, and back into lounge. This was kind of like the loop I was making periodically. Sometimes I'd check stairs. And that was basically what I was doing. Well, anyways, I get droned out. They break hatches. These hatches break. They have a guy on Skylight. I can hear him, so I don't want to do that anymore. So I have two options. I can't go back here because, they're right there. I can go right here. This is basically my only option, honestly. I'm not even going to play it out. That's what I did. I ran down. So when I ran down as Jaeger, I ran down white. Now, again, I got droned out from a drone in the fireplace. When I came through here, I went to go turn here, but there was a drone here that I shot. So I kept going. I heard him drop the skylight. So I went, okay, I have to think of something here. So I dipped into crevice. Now, I did it to where they couldn't hear me. I hid right here in this corner. And I slowly moved my way to this table that's right here. Now, when I got to this table, I could hear somebody was heaven, somebody dropped new, and somebody dropped red. And the guy had already dropped skylight. So there are 4 people at least up top. Now, in this situation, they know I went to second floor, but they don't know how far down I went or really what direction. I've already shot 2 to 3 drones at this point. So, maybe they don't want to waste another drone. So, but they did really. In all reality, another drone came in from here. I'll get rid of these X's, make it easier on myself. Another drone came in from here, and it actually missed me. It just went down gold. And then I heard another drone go by, and I'm assuming it went through pillar, maybe checked hell, maybe went into reading. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the second drone. I just heard it. But the next minute I know is I hear movement in this portion of the map, and in the hallway as well, actually. As a roamer, most people would get antsy and maybe swing. Nah, you gotta hold your ground. Know that, hey, they haven't droned me out yet. The drone would have looked at me, and most times when people drone you, they look at you with the drone. The drone instantly turns around frantically trying not to get shot. Or if it's being followed, they just kind of like sit there and stare at you, trying to scan you, maybe for the wall bang or a wide swing or a pre-fire, something like that. But anyways, I just sat there because, you know, I didn't feel as they droned me out. There, I could hear, you know, 4 people at least in my vicinity. Well, at the end of the day, I had 2 people walk in front of me and 1 walk up high. So I had a Thatcher walk right here, and then a Zofia walk literally right next to him right there. And then above on Heaven was a Sledge. But what happened was I was in this really good position to line them up, and I instantly got those 2 frags. So these 2 people are out of the equation. This Sledge got the information that, oh wait, there's a guy, Crevice, looks down at me, did hit me, but I ended up winning out the gunfight. So I got 3 kills for playing passive. Now, this game we had been doing really bad. You know, we were switching up who was roaming. I wasn't supposed to be the AA roaming, but I had confidence that I could do it, so I did it, and it worked out. We ended up winning the round. It was a 5v2. After that happened, I came down gold, and I did end up dying to a person that was in bar, but that wasn't the point. The point was that I successfully roamed, and, you know, I didn't get aggressive. I backed off when I got droned. I repositioned. I kind of played the situation out. I didn't get too aggressive. Being aggro while roaming, more often than not, will get you killed. I do know people that can be aggro and roam. It's just their play style, and it's what works for them. But more often than not, that's not going to be the play style that fits most people, because Siege is a very strategic game when that comes down to it. It's not like it's not like other FPSs, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's like a MOBA, but it has that aspect of, alright, you have your ability. You need to use your ability in a certain way, shape, or form to gain map control. It's like League of Legends. You have 3 lanes. You know, get lanes, get in between the lanes, and then push the objective, right? Eraser. But roaming, I like to count. When I roam, I like to look at the clock, because you have 3 minutes. You have minute 1, minute 2, you have minute 3. I like to split up each minute into halves, so each minute gets 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds is kind of like an extended prep phase, per se. You know, find a position that you're comfortable holding. For me on this take, it was lounge. So that was my first 30 seconds cut off the clock. The next 30 seconds is, are they droning me? Where do I kind of want my route to be, kind of like roaming wise? And I kind of chose something that looked a little bit like this. And I got droned out. So that was the first minute gone by. The next minute, the next 30 seconds, and the next minute, I knew, all right, I've wasted 1 whole minute. They have 2 minutes left to, you know, clear me out. So I rotated out the safest possible way, destroying utility that they had drone-wise. And then when I knew there wasn't a drone watching me, I decided to pitch a tent in a corner that was dark and they might not check. Now this wasted probably 15 seconds, we'll say. That's 15 seconds. Now, at this point, at about minute and 45 into a round, things start, more gunfights are about to happen. The attackers are going to start to drone better, or drone more, and they misdroned me. If they turn their drone this way and then this way, they see a Jaeger in the corner, like, no doubt about it. This sledge probably knows exactly where I am. I'm trying to either run out of crevice into mining or run down golden, and I get killed. But they misdrone me, and that's something you just gotta play. You gotta play situational awareness. Like, most people, when they hear a drone, maybe they're gonna move automatically. Some people don't. Even when they get droned, they just stick to their position, and kudos to them, they have big balls. But I knew they misdroned me, and after that 15 seconds went by of the misdrone, this is basically glory period, which I like to say, because the last minute and a half, you've wasted about half the round without them finding you, or like killing you. So you're looking pretty solid to make an impact later in the round. And the next 15 seconds, I could hear them organizing kind of like their downward push. You know, they kind of cleared out mining, train, fireplace, reading, laundry. They probably cleared out the hallways. You know, they had basically hell clear. They were clearing all this out. They basically had map control wazooed. And then here's me. And they didn't have this. And they walked straight past me like I wasn't even there, because they didn't know I was there. And then they both died, and then along with their buddy up top. But that was, you know, they knew they had just wasted all this. They had the 1 minute left, and they needed to start executing on what they were doing. Was a freezer push. So they needed to get the bar. They had a guy already on white. They just needed to execute. And the Thatcher was going down, what I'm presumably to help get whatever the bandit batteries we had on that wall off the wall. But I killed them. So their round went from being viable to not viable real quick. In the next 30 seconds, they floundered around thinking of what to do after I had died and rotated back down golden and died in bar here. The two of them sat in bar, not being able to open wall, and tried to swing in and died. Like, that's what happened. They didn't know what to do after the roam was successful, because it was a successful roam, and within the last 30 seconds I had died. I died right after I got this frag, and I tried to run down with about 45 seconds left. I died. But I had an impact on the round so significant that the round was won, basically because they had to go in sight in a 2v4 where all guns were pointed at this doorway from a guy here, 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 and there was actually somebody here too. So yeah, he's seen him coming in through here, but I think he might have died. So it might have been a 3v2. But anyways, there were 3 guns pointed at one door, and they were about to die anyways. But the moral of roaming is to delay time. I don't really know how, I spelled delay wrong. You can tell it's 2 in the morning. But delay time. I'm going to say that in every Soupz seed strats that I ever make from this point on. Delay time. As a roamer, delay time. I've said it in, I think, every video. We're going to have Jaeger roaming over here, but his job isn't to get a frag, it's to delay time. I think I've said that in just about every video, and somebody can probably go fact check that if they really want to. But I do say that a lot because it's truly like what I think works best is just to delay time. But overall, I know I didn't really go into depth and show like maybe clips or something, but just an overall view of, you know, how a successful roam might look or should look in my eyes and how I roam. Delay more than a minute and a half. Maybe get one. If you get one frag and you trade yourself, it's still 4v4 and they have a minute and 15 seconds now to execute onto the site. I mean, kudos to you. You did a great job. This has been Soupz, and this is Soupz Siege Tips, and this has been roaming not in depth. So, not in depth. So, roaming NID. SST, roaming NID. Not in depth, but an overall. Thank you for watching. I had a great time trying to record this over and over and over. Yeah, hopefully this is the one you guys see, because who knows, maybe I recorded a 5th one. But, you know, subscribing is free. Liking is free. Commenting is free. I don't really care. But have a good day. Hope you're drinking water. Stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. Out there. Peace.